Hello everyone, Sam from MEENIST faceups here. For my first tutorial ever, I want to show you how to remove an old faceup. The one in the picture here, actually. Nathan's been wearing this face for 5 years now, so I figured it was time to give him a little makeover. I've already removed his eyelashes with a pair of tweezers, and you can see where traces of superglue remain. Let's talk about the supplies you'll need. I remove all of the sealant and paint from the dolls I work on using 100% pure and colorless acetone. You can pick this up at your local home improvement store. I've had this one for years. You'll also need a few cotton balls. Probably not this many, but I got a little carried away with the squishing and playing with them. You'll also need a few Q-tips for getting into those hard-to-reach areas, like the eye wells and the corner of the lips. Don't forget a roll of paper towels to help accelerate the drying process of your doll head, and also to clean up any little spills. You want to be careful what you get acetone on. A note on acetone: do not use nail polish remover, as it generally has dyes and oils in it that could damage the doll's resin. Once you've gathered all your supplies, you're going to want to head over to one of the sinks in your house, preferably a well-lit bathroom. Soak one of your cotton balls in acetone. I highly recommend wearing gloves during this process because the acetone can really dry out your fingers and nails. I don't always wear gloves and I've never had any problems, but please take appropriate precautions. Work quickly, rubbing the soaked cotton ball in quick circular motions over the doll's face. I've never had any trouble personally with acetone damaging any kind of resin, but it can possibly soften the outer layers, and I don't like to keep the chemical on its surface any longer than necessary. This process will take a few minutes, depending on how thick the paint and sealant layers are. If the doll was sealed properly, you shouldn't have too tough of a time removing the face-up, even if it is half a decade old. Don't forget to get behind the ears and at the base of the skull. Every once in a while, rinse the head under lukewarm water to get rid of any acetone or bits of paint and pastels that have clumped up on the doll's face. Then, go back in with your cotton ball and continue to work off any remaining face paint. For those hard-to-reach spots, use a Q-tip with acetone on it to clean the area. The eye wells are notoriously difficult to clean, especially if your doll's lashes were attached with superglue like Nathan's. The acetone isn't strong enough to fully break down the glue, so you may find yourself with a bit of seemingly impossible paint residue. Use the Q-tip to get between the lips and the corners of the mouth as well. Rinse your head again and take a look at what's left. This isn't coming off with acetone, so I'm going to use an X-Acto knife to very carefully scrape away the remaining glue and paint. Very, very gently. Use a sharp, thin blade to scrape away a thin layer of the residue. I cannot stress enough how confident and controlled you need to be with these movements. The resin is soft enough that a blade like this will put digs or even chips into the thin eye well area. If you don't feel comfortable at all using an X-Acto knife like this, you can dry off your doll's head and use sandpaper to work away these last bits. However, although that method is much safer, it also takes a much longer time. I prefer to do this, and if there does happen to be any minor unevenness by the end, I can just sand that away. Rinse your doll's head when you're finished, using your fingers and eyes to feel how smoothly you've removed the paint and the glue. You can use a clean cotton ball to wipe away the bits that remain. Dry off the head well, and then you're finished. I hope this tutorial was helpful and that you feel ready to tackle that old face-up you've been meaning to remove. Let me know in the comments below what other kinds of tutorials you'd like to see in the future. Please subscribe so we can keep in touch. Thank you, and bye-bye for now.